Hello everyone, I'm your host from Research Update Organization and you are watching the video series of clinical research education. You can join our Facebook group and you can subscribe our YouTube channel for the latest update. Also you can join our Telegram app, which is Q&A Research Interest Group. We will start our session soon.
Intervention studies. So first, intervention studies having many different type, and those are divided in from phase 1 to phase 4 type of intervention studies. So that we will cover it later on, but the whole our course will be structured on observational studies, because most of the audience here, they are either students or residents or fellow or practicing physicians having less resources, right? So observational studies are the studies which they can focus wherever they are, depend on their resources. But let me cover the briefly the detail of intervention study as well. So intervention studies are probably single blind, double blind, or triple blind intervention studies. So single blind intervention studies means patient is not aware about what patient is receiving. I'm sharing my screen so that you will have, I can write there. Okay, so single blind means patient is not aware about. The double blind means the patient is not aware about, as well as the doctor is not aware about what he is giving. Standard computerized system will be there, which will generate the code, which will decide which patient will receive intervention medicine, which patient will receive the placebo. So everything will be decided by the system generated codes. And the triple blind studies, even biostatistician who is doing analyzing the data, he will not aware that what is the intervention and placebo group. So this thing will reduce basically the chances of biases. Okay, it's a whole different thing. Once you will have the idea about how to do research, then you will have you can also learn more about the biases, what type of biases exist, and we will cover a little bit of thing when we will be covering to review studies, which is the second type of study which you can do it by yourself. So those biases are something you need to reduce whenever you are performing any studies. So the single blind, double blind, and triple blinds are the various type of intervention studies are there. Second is the randomization and non-randomization. Now, usually intervention studies are randomized or non-randomized. So when we talk about randomization, so we talk about, let's say, for example, we do not want to be biased about selection of particular, that's a community, or selection of particular disease, or selection of particular group. So in that case, we randomize the population, even though we have to make sure in our study the age group is randomized properly in placebo as well as in a treatment group. The older patient and younger patient must be equally distributed, right? So we randomize those people properly. So those are the randomization occur by various way. Randomization occur in various conditions. That is a whole different topic, but randomization is important in order to reduce the biases. And some studies are non-randomized. Let's say if I would like to see the role of IV immunoglobulin reduce the HIV related peripheral neuropathy, then I have no other option than taking HIV patient, and whether they are old or young or severe or non-severe, I have no other option, right? So that will be non-randomized, right? Similarly, some studies are open label, some studies are non-open label. Open label and non-open label means I will not tell patient that which you are getting medicine, it's a placebo without label, or I'm giving you with the label medicine, that XYZ the medicine I'm giving you, right? Let's say the current scenario, COVID, right? I cannot be enrolling the patient in non-open label. I have to keep the label open. I'm giving you remdesivir and I'm giving you remdesivir, right? Similarly, IVIG in HIV, I am giving you IVIG, then I'm giving you. So it is open label trial. So it's up to me, or it's up to basically investigator which type of trial they are designing. But usually some of the important trials are open label as well. Now crossover trial. Crossover trials are the trial. Usually what happen, you cannot deprive any patient with the standard medicine. Let's say some new medicine came into the market for HIV, let's say, and you are comparing the let me add here. There is a two group of patient, both group has HIV. You are giving here standard HAART, antiretroviral therapy here, and to the another group, you can't say that I'm not going to give you, this is the standard therapy, right? And the new therapy, you don't know efficacy of new therapy. In that case, you will be given them this therapy plus you will be giving them new therapy, right? So this is how usually this is called here I will call placebo, and here I will call intervention. Here I will call intervention. Why? Because this is the new drug has been given. But sometime this is the new drug and we are checking the action, efficacy, immunogenicity, safety, and so many things. That is why we are using in one group and one group with the placebo. Some studies are there where we don't give anything and here we give medicine, but it's not for the emergent condition. This is HIV. You can't deprive patient from basic standard therapy which is already proved. But let's say many studies came out and says that remdesivir is very helpful in COVID, right? Now in that case, people will argue, why not I am getting it? I will enroll if I am in a position of argue. Okay, if I am getting, if let's say I wish to have chance of getting medicine, and if medicine available in future, why not? Then there is another option to plan the trial like a way called crossover. Crossover means, okay, right now you are getting placebo, you are getting standard medicine, means placebo with new medicine. After 6 weeks, whatever people are in the treatment group, sorry, are in the placebo group, they will get new medicine now, and whatever we are taking new medicine, now they will not receive this medicine and they will be on placebo now. So what are going to happen? I'm going to first take all the all the outcome measurement here before starting medicine, all outcome measurement. Then before switching them, I'll take all outcome measurement here. Now what is outcome? Basically outcome means the goal of the medicine is to improve their cardiac function, for example. So I will check cardiac function here, followed by I'll check cardiac function here, and then I will switch over, I'll cross over them and I'll check cardiac function here. So this way, this group is happy, this group is happy. Ultimately everyone is getting medicine if you think it is appropriate. And again, it depend on pharmaceutics, it depend on the investigators, sub investigator, and so many things. But such trial do exist, and we call it crossover studies. We do not have to focus more. This group, this course will not cover intervention studies. If we are having chance in future, we'll see. Otherwise our major focus will be that and review studies. Okay, now third type of research is called review article or review studies. Some people think that review studies means non-original article, you are just writing story. No, review article does not mean literature review alone. Review articles are having many types. Many physicians who is here, who is actively practicing and maybe actively researchers, they might not even know that this many type of review study exists. So let's cover with the review studies. Number one type is literature review and narrative review. In the next session, I'll cover each and every this subsection, this subsection with example, with each and every. Okay, so we will have a clear idea of differentiation. What is the literature review and systematic review? Systematic review and systematic review with meta-analysis or with meta-regression or with survey study. We will try to cover everything one by one. Okay, so literature review or narrative review, that is the storytelling article. Whenever you have 1 weekend left and you have holiday or something, and you think, I have this idea, I would like to write something, you can collect selectively 10 article or 15 article, write in a specific order, whatever way, but specific order, whatever you wish to write, in a favor, in oppose, write, prepare a report and submit. Now, problem with these articles are they are having a huge bias. There is no method, there is no methodology. This review article, literature review, literature review has no method. If no method means no result, no result. Now, if your article has no methods, no results, why someone should accept? Why someone should accept your findings? So your bias, you find out whatever 10-15 article or from PubMed or from wherever you wish to write, and you wrote it on in your favor. Tomorrow I wish to write the role of HCQ in COVID, I will write it. Whatever article good in favoring, I'll collect them and I write and submit. So you do not require, the way, if you follow the protocol, you do not require IRB or ethical committee permission to write such article. So now what will you do to make your literature review strong? I tell all my students and all my colleagues, it's kind of when you are reading the research on in the journal, reading the research is completely like a dating a person, like a man or woman. What are you going to do? You are going to see the picture and a small 3-4 line of 1 or 2 line of introduction on any dating website or matrimony website, that okay, picture is good, 2 lines are good, that is your abstract. Okay, so you have to be very careful. The abstract of your literature review or original review will be very strong. Otherwise, I have like 15 journal in my rack, I never read those things if it's not interesting any article, right? That is the first step. If you would like to attract someone, you need a good picture, a good brief 2 line of introduction. Similarly, you want to attract more researcher, more physician, your research should have a good abstract, condensed abstract, that is the picture, the face of your research. Similarly, let's say now you went to the date and then you meet 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What you gonna judge? You will be judging the brain, whether it's intellectual, person is intellectual and keep continue to talk for probably another half an hour or not. That is the second thing, the compatibility you're gonna check. And third, the heart is good or not, so that you can spend the rest of the life with them, right? The three things you're gonna check. The similarly, the method and research is the brain of your manuscript, is the idea, is the brain of your project, right? Which is deciding sustainability. And the discussion, the way you argue your finding, it's the heart of your study. So if the discussion is weak, if the method and results are weak, or the abstract is weak, in that three cases, introduction, probably, yes, I'm not telling no one read, people are reading, but I'm just telling you that a result is the thing people will see. Table, see, we didn't focus much about other part, we just read result, discussion, abstract, boom, finish. So it's exactly same. I always compare that three thing. You want to see the picture, you want to see the brain, you want to see the heart, all three things. The similarly, you want to see the abstract, you want to see the result, and you want to see the discussion. Now in review article, method and results are missing. So here, what is the important point you focus? That is the tables. How strong your table work. My screens are 1 second. I'm just sharing again. Okay, so important part is the table, and I always recommend people to make in literature review strongest table that you can see, and you can show it to the reviewer. Okay, we will see all the example, but I'm just telling you that such thing can be publishable if you are having a proper tricks. We will pass one by one to everything. Okay, now second, systematic review. Now, what is systematic review? So systematic review, the name suggests it is a systematic. It follow a standard protocol. Either you follow Prisma protocol or Moose protocol or any protocol. Because it's a systematic, it will reduce the bias. It is following the method. It follows the method, then you will produce the result too. And if you produce the result, you can present in a form of table very easily, right? But this result will be different than the result of the third category here, that we will talk in detail afterward. But I'm just telling you the brief information. The systematic review is the review some journal consider in original article, because it is not having analysis, but it will still have method. It will still have method. It will still have result. So what you are going to do is, you will decide your aim of your study. You will decide your aim of your study. You will go on PubMed. You will go on Scopus. You will go on Google Scholar, Web of Science, on different search engine. You will use the particular keyword on particular date on human or particular age group. The criteria will be decided. We will cover each and individual thing later on. So you will be covering everything, and you find out the article. So you will not be biased. This is not like whatever article you wish to choose. You will be following the thing. You will be getting those articles, whether it's in favor or not in favor. You need to cover them. That is your systematic review. So method will be there, result will be there, right? But result will not be in a form of analysis, right? So some journal says yes, it is original article, some says no. We will come to the complete new category. We will discuss the type of original research, type of non-original research, and there we will discuss all this. There's independently all these examples. Okay, the third part of systematic review and meta analysis or meta regression. That is a definitive original article do not require IRB. Okay, meta analysis and meta regression, those are the term. When we are using those term, where similarly you are following all those protocol. First you are following protocol, we'll come to that protocol. The protocol, either you have Prisma, you have Moose. If you are doing case study, then another one, you are collecting data. Someone was telling me, if we are not having data, so you collect the data using all this protocol. They are all those protocols exist. You collect the data. We will cover those all protocols. Okay, so you follow the protocol. Basically, after you follow the protocol, you use the search engine. You collect the data. You collect the article, collect the data, in Excel sheet. Once you collect the data in your Excel sheet, we will try to, I'll show you the all different type of data we have collected throughout the years. We'll show you the quick glance of those data. So you collect it. You use either comprehensive meta-analysis software, review manager software. There are many software online. You SAS software. SAS is probably barely doing it, but there are analysis, meta analysis. You can Google meta analysis software, so you'll get a list of software. You upload your data there, and that data will give you odds ratio, hazard ratio, or relative risk from those things. So let me give you a quick example of COVID only. So COVID-19, China says that the people in our ex hospital, the pooled prevalence of smoker, the people who were smoker, those patients are having 3% only prevalence of getting COVID. Okay, 3% prevalence. So COVID-19, who had positive, out of that 3% were only smoker. Okay, that is one hospital says. Another hospital says, no, 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 in our hospital it was 15%. Now US, one study published and they said like 35%. Now ultimately, whom to trust, whom to believe? Everyone is right. So 19 studies published. Let's say we collect data from all 19 and we submit those data to this software and tell them to find out a pooled prevalence, a pooled prevalence. So that software will tell you that, okay, the pooled prevalence is, let's say, 9%, with confidence interval is, let's say, something between 4 to 20. So what does it mean? That means is from the publication published in all those 17 18 country, 19 studies published, the total pooled prevalence is 9. So now you tell me whether this data has a good value, which is internal, internal data, or let's say this data is having a good value, or let's say this data or this data is having good value. So this data is giving you internal validity of that hospital or that country. This will give you a good internal validity. This is also internal validity, but this will give you external validity, because you are representing so many different countries or so many different studies together. Now after 1 year, someone wishes to continue the same study, but now he or she will be adding 10 more study, and this pool prevalence will change. So now you are going towards more and more accuracy. Am I using the same data and adding new data? Answer is yes. Is this study is called again original study? Answer is yes. Is it still publishable? Answer is very yes. And is it more accurate than previously published all study? Answer is yes. So research is continuously, it's a dynamic and it's continuously changing the finding. So today whatever is present may not be the finding tomorrow, right? And this type of study requires a basic information of research, is not requiring your IRBs, because these data are present already on PubMed. You just have to use the system, and you just have to make sure the data you download, you review those data, and you can find out that. I will try to cover, Urja, your question again. Can you please repeat the tool? I will put the link there down once we finish that. Or someone is putting there. Atal is putting that. Okay, thank you, Atal. Yes, so this will give you the pooled prevalence, one thing. So this is just the pooled prevalence. This is very basic thing. But if one clinical trial is telling that X device is having a hazard ratio of 3, right? This is device is in favor, device is in favor, and device is in not favor. So this one study is telling that this device is not in favor. Another study is saying device is in very, very bad, right? 4. Some study says no, it is probably not in favor, probably 1. Some study says here is the finding, some says here, some says here, some says here, or let's say if everyone is saying even these are the finding, then it's very difficult to get the common answer. Then this software will tell you if it is in favor, how much favor, whether it is favor or not, and if it is in favor, how much favor. So even though, let's remove this 3 study, and if we want to know if this is in favor, then it will tell you that though these people are telling it is not in favor, these people are telling it is very much in favor, but middle answer is somewhere here, it is probably this much in favor. So this clinical trial, one is good, probably 30 patient, 20 patient, 50 patient, 100 patient. But now my study, without IRB, without ethics committee, without spending any money, my study will have 100 plus 50 plus 20 plus 30, 200 patient. And this is called meta-analysis of clinical trial. And this is going to be the good article, because now I'm merging the result of all of them, right? So that is called another, this is meta-analysis only, all different type, with whether I'm getting, so basically I'm getting pooled prevalence or I'm getting hazard ratio, but it's called also pooled hazard ratio, right? Because every study has their own independent result. So that is called meta-analysis. Meta-regression, when we talk about meta-regression, then meta-regression is the similarly, is just going to tell you, let's say, very interesting thing. One study says that this is the number of cerebrovascular disease, let's say stroke patient, the patient who is having, um, let's remove this part here and write it here, stroke. Okay, COVID patient and arrhythmia. Probably more people are interested in that probably. So probably in my hospital, let's say these are the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. These are the percentage, okay? And these are also percentage of arrhythmia. So one study said that in my hospital, one study says that 10% COVID hospitalization occur in my hospital, and 5% were having arrhythmia. So this dot is presenting value of 10 x-axis and 5 y-axis. Another study came out. This is study number 1. Another study came out. This is of 10 patient probably. Okay, 10 patient. Study 2 came out, says we are having 30% 30 COVID patient or whatever. Let's say 30 COVID patients. I'm not taking percentage yet. Let's take patient number only. 30 COVID patients, and we are having 25% of arrhythmia. 25 follow somewhere here. Let's say I'm making the big round. The size big means more number of patient, right? The computer will do it, nothing you are doing it by yourself. Computer will produce such result for you. The third study came out. I'm having 5,000 patients of COVID, let's say somewhere here, and I'm having more number of arrhythmia. So study size, so they will produce a dots. Every dot has, these all are study 1, study 1, study 2, study 3, study 4, study 5, study 6, study 7, and computer will uh, by itself pass a line from it, and that line will have correlation coefficient, Pearson correlation, right? Or maybe odds ratio. You can convert those finding into odds ratios. So it will tell you the small finding is there, but very effective finding. The number of COVID patient increase, whether the prevalence of arrhythmia in your institute increase or not. Number of COVID patient increase, the needs of mechanical ventilation increase or not. Number of COVID patient increase, mortality increase or not. So that will help you to identify at a bigger level the resources utilization. This is a very huge concept, but I'm telling you, very small thing you can perform which will change drastically to the healthcare system. That does not require your affiliation. Someone asked me about affiliations, that do I have to have it affiliation or not? Okay, so those things you can do it without having any affiliation. Okay, survey studies. I'll cover this survey studies and we will end today's session here. Survey studies are also very effective way to do. It's also called original study. It's very effective way to analyze the people's mind. Survey studies are the studies. Let's say you are following again the protocol, sending surveys using standard survey softwares, contacting patients, contacting doctors, resident, different type of survey exists. Harvard and Johns Hopkins and many big hospitals right now doing surveys. Even in fact, we did a survey, and then on that surveys, people are responding or doctors are responding, and you are getting the response back. You are analyzing that response, and you are publishing that response that this is the problem, right? And those surveys are varies between the whether telemedicine is helpful or not, you are satisfied or not, whether you believe in face mask or not, whether COVID condition will finish, you will go out without mask or with mask or not, whether your hospital is providing proper care or not. The survey can be very basic, survey can be very complicated. So depend on how much complexity you would like to create, you can create in that survey. And those are, so basically we are having, one is this group, one is this group, and one is this group. Three different type of research majority are there. Yeah, three different type of research majority are there: observational study, interventional studies, and review studies. Other than that, I do not consider case report or letter to editor or perspectives or viewpoint as research, but people still write it. It is everyone's personal point, personal view, but I definitely will show you, if you are having a case report, how you can collect other case report, publish online and submit here, either in systematic study or literature review, or even you analyze and put it in meta analysis. Okay, that is a different thing, but one case report will not change anything in research field. One case report. But there are, I have never seen any disease where only one case exists, except very rare, and I was not that lucky, now ever that lucky, that getting that rare case. Okay, but still, if you are having time and you don't have anything, then you can write definitely case report. But for writing case report, for sure you need permission from institute, patient permission to participate, and patient permission to publish that case. Three things you require it. So that is the case report. And other than that, you have letter to editor, viewpoint, perspectives, and so little small categories of the thing. Those are not research, but those are still your viewpoint. But it's very difficult to say whether anyone will accept it or not, except you are invited to do so. Once some people reach to the very good position, people invite them to write something, and then they can do that. So this is the type of research.